Hey, good evening, guys. It's KB5 MIQ Big Boy. We're gonna do our 1600 sub giveaway drawing here in just a minute. Guys, I didn't get to make the Mina Ham Fest this year. I'm fixing to pull this phone over because the microphone's wrapped around my toe. No, I didn't get to make the Mina Ham Fest. My dad had some setbacks this week and I just didn't feel comfortable. Mina's 2.5 hours away for me to get there. I just didn't feel comfortable going up there, but the Hammerheads went up there and had a great day. We tried some UHF contact. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute, but first let's draw for this 1600 sub giveaway. Had about 24 entries, which is good. Got the radio boxed up. It's Bofang Dual Bander. I happen to have another koozie and I'm gonna send you a couple of stickers with it. Stickers are going to be stuck down in the koozie. And you'll also get this mag mount tram dual band radio already set up with the correct SMA mount to use it with. Now that radio was brand new. It's donated by Broken Circuit Ranch YouTuber K1ENT Kent. He won it at one of our club giveaways. Now I had opened it up, put the radio together, put the battery on it. I was going to do a video on it, never had time. So the radio's been open, but it's brand new, hadn't had the plastic pulled off of it, and it's charged up. Everything's in there with it. All right, let's see who we can draw out of the pot here to get this thing. All right. Matthew Kopchak, KZ4BU. Congratulations, I'll be getting this out to you. Let me pause this thing a second. Well, all right, K74BU. Matthew, I can't pronounce that last name, buddy, I'm sorry, but I'll be sending you an email here in just a minute. Guys, we tried, of course, Jeff and I started this a couple of years ago. We're big antenna experimenters, and I got the thing wrapped around my foot again. Hang on. Y'all know my audio visual skills ain't very good. Jeff and I have always built our own antennas. Tim, Cody, Kent, Adam, everybody in the group, Sam has built their own antennas. We enjoy doing it. We also try to test stuff out, do some long distance testing. We tried a long distance UHF contact today on Simplex with Jeff using a 40-watt mobile with a vertical antenna up on top of the Rich Mountain at 2,500 feet. To me, down here on my Yagi at up 50 feet. I could hear him, but it was a real rough copy, which I was really been surprised for UHF to work that far. We tried VHF and it worked better, but we still had some interference here local today that kind of messed it up. But that's what you do antenna experimenting for. That's what it's all about. Kent's cooked some video, and if I get some copies from him, I shot some video here today. I'm going to comprise what they sent me from Mina and do it in another video this week. I've still got a antenna bearing and an antenna analyzer. We're going to may do another video giveaway at 1,700 if I don't find a school club to donate this to. But we're going to keep doing some giveaways along here. Guys, I appreciate it. I enjoy all the great comments and emails I get from y'all, and please keep sending them. I've got a subject today, kind of combining three subjects. It's kind of a rehash because I still see people asking these questions. And we're all here to help new hams get into this hobby. One, I think it was a lady trying to get in, want to know what a good starter radio was. Y'all know that is my pet peeve term, is the term starter radio. I still think more hams, potential hams, have been turned off from this hobby by being told that the rig they bought is just a starter radio. For this reason, even these so-called starter radios are expensive, even a used radio. You take my old 701 here, for instance, unless you buy something as old as this 701 for $150, $200, say you buy a 718, an ICOM. Jeff has run one for years. They're still $600, $700 radio. And somebody tells you, oh, wow, that's a great radio, but that's a starter radio. To be a real ham, you need to buy this radio. Well, when you say stuff like that to a new ham, how do you know they're not thinking, how do you know their budget was, man, I barely could afford this, and I got to spend more money to get this other radio? I don't want to do this hobby. So I don't refer to any radio as a starter radio. There's some have more features than others. I personally like a simpler radio myself. That's just what I've always run one. If I had to steer somebody toward a radio, and I hate to do this because it gets into the Ford versus Chevy debate, but I would still steer somebody toward a Yaesu 891. For simple reason, it's compact. It's very easy to take out portable with you. Cody and Jeff take them out portable all the time. They're good radios. And if a person wants to operate a QRP radio, all you got to do is turn the power down. I'm not knocking QRP radios at all. I'm really not. They got some cool features to them. That's great. But the price of a lot of QRP radios, even that Xiegu is fairly expensive. You can buy an 891, and that way you've got a pretty well full-featured radio, got a lot of good cool features on it, and you also got a capability running 100 watts. So it's whatever you come up with there on that is your budget and what you can live with. But try not to be telling these people starter radios. I just can't stand that subject matter. Other guys ask for what's a good HF rig. Money's not really an object. I just want to do sideband AM. Again, you're getting the Ford versus Chevy question. If you get in a ham club, most hams will let you visit their shack. I'll let anybody visit mine that comes by here. It's going to look rough. It's going to look like a Army Navy store, an electronics store exploded. But yeah, I'll show you anything I got on here. And you'll see it on videos. Again, it depends on what you want to do with the hobby and the type of radio you end up buying. Had another one get on there thinking, I'm going to get my license. What's good radio to get? Of course, half a dozen people tell them, do not buy a radio till you get your license. You might transmit on it. I don't tell people that. I bought my first radio before I had my license. But I'm ethical enough as a ham radio operator and wanting to be a ham radio operator at the time not to transmit. My Elmers told me, you can listen, don't transmit. Real simple. So no law against buying a radio to listen to and get a little experience with it other than transmitting. And if you got a ham radio buddy at your Elmer, invite him over to your house. As long as he's sitting there with you, you can talk on your radio with him as a control operator. So don't ever think you can't buy a radio if you don't have a ham license. And guys talking about how much to set a shack up and what all you need. Well, that also gets into the $64 question. The basics, radio, power source, could be a battery, could be a power supply, coax, antenna. Simple as that. And a way to get the antenna elevated or ground mount antenna. Real simple. You always can go up from there. Don't overlook used gear. Really don't. And don't overlook older used gear. A lot of times you get a deal at a ham fest, especially if you're there toward the end of it. A lot of these guys don't want to lug that stuff back home with them. Make them an offer. If they take it, they take it. If they don't, they might counter back and still be in your budget. Tim got me a heck of a deal on a D104 mic with a 2-pin plug that this HW101 needs. I've been looking for the plug on eBay and I ain't found one less than $50 for the plug. He actually got me a D104 mic with the plug installed on it for 60 bucks. And I've already heard the mic. He hooked it up to one of his Heath kits and we talked this afternoon on it. So don't overlook used gear. Go to a ham fest, take an Elmer with you. Also, a lot of these bigger ham fests will have a test table to where if the guy's wanting to sell you something, he shouldn't have no problem with you taking it and testing it. He'll maybe take it over with you. Whatever. Talk to the guy that's trying to sell the radio. Look at the radio on the table. How neat it is. If the radio clean, is the guy table clean, or if the radio's just throwed up there and it's got dust and dirt all over it or something. Use your own judgment. Be a little wary of that. Ask the guy lots of questions. And if they got a test table, they usually got a dummy load there and power supply. Take it over and get it tested out. So there's lots of ways to get into this hobby. And honestly, it's going to take a little outlay of money, but it doesn't have to break the bank. It really don't. Making your own antennas is a really fun way to get into this hobby. All right, guys, that's about all I can think of right now. I hated I didn't get to go to the Ham Fest, and when I get some video from Jeff and Kent, I'll try to do a little Mina Ham Fest video from what they sent me and get it up later this week. Again, shout out to Broken Circuit Ranch YouTube, K1ENT Kent, for sponsoring this giveaway. I'll have a link to his channel in the description of this video. W9LEO donated the analyzer and the tire bearing that we're going to try to give away, or I'm going to get to a school club and we'll give something else away. Thanks again, everybody who subscribed to the channel. Y'all remember Main Trading Company. Hopefully I can get up there and shoot some video at their new store pretty quick, and when they get the stock back up. Everybody have a great week. It's KB5MIQ Big Boy 73. Guys, quick add on to this video. I forgot to mention something. I know a lot of you guys are eBay buyers. Kent is. I think Tim gets on eBay a lot. I look at eBay, but I don't buy. I haven't bought off eBay in years. I see a lot of radios, HF rigs, VHF rigs, that are coming from Japanese sellers originating out of Japan. Be wary of those radios, because Japan does not have the same band allocations we do. Those radios were made for the Japanese market, and they won't do everything that we're allowed to do in the American market. Just a thought. So if you see a deal on a radio that's coming out of Japan, ask the seller, is it made for Japan or is it made for the U.S. market, to be sure before you buy one. Just a word of advice. Thank you.